Okay, good evening, YouTubers. Well, I think we've pretty much covered the ground, but Fiona wants to say a few more.
I don't want to say it. You asked me.
She picked, yeah. I asked her to because we were just discussing it, and I thought I've got to get that on film. That's really good. You were talking about Diana's ring.
Yeah, it's not just Diana's ring. The thing is, I don't know where to begin with the crown, and I mean, I could talk for hours about all the inaccuracies that I noticed that I didn't like. A big one for me was when they did the Camilla Gate story, and it's all in the newspapers. You know, Charles and Camilla had a highly intimate and private conversation that was then splashed all over the newspapers. They depicted Elizabeth Debicki as Diana, curling up into the fetal position with her eyes welling up with tears. Well, anyone out there who's read Ken Wharf's book, Ken Wharf, by the way, was her personal protection officer, he said the princess was rolling around on the floor, laughing her head off, creased up, and her exact words apparently were, game, set and match, because a private telephone conversation of hers had been leaked at an earlier date. So it was part of the War of the Waleses. She didn't curl up in the fetal position and cry. That's just bullshit. So they just didn't read Ken Wharf's book, or they didn't listen to Ken Wharf. Another thing, right, in season 4 was when Emma Corrin was doing it, and she chose the engagement ring. They depicted the very famous iconic ring, which I think has a Wikipedia page of its own, which we all know is a deep blue faceted sapphire surrounded by diamonds. Why is it in season 5 it looks like a turquoise pebble from Brighton Beach in a cabochon?
And this is the ring that the Princess of Wales is now wearing.
Catherine, Princess of Wales, wears. Everybody knows what it looks like. They cost about 99p on eBay, copies of Diana's engagement ring. Was it really that difficult? But no, it looks literally like a pebble off Brighton Beach, and it's cabochon, smooth like a marble.
She's into jewellery.
I love jewellery. Monarchists love jewellery.
We
look at the jewellery.
Yeah.
I will say something positive for the crown, because that's the other thing. I should put a disclaimer whenever I speak on the internet for the sake of the sugars, right? Firstly, I'm left wing. Secondly, I'm not a racist. Thirdly, I don't just chat shit against Meghan because I'm trying to get clicks. I did not review The Crown to get clicks. Anyone who knows me knows I was desperate to see The Crown. I'm a huge fan of The Crown. I love it where other people would criticise it. But apparently I've been told, oh, you don't care about The Crown, you were just going to criticise it because you're a monarchist, blah, 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 blah. Which is bullshit. Oh my God. Yes. What was the question again that you asked me?
Well, that was it. It was Diana's ring,
and there was so many other inaccuracies.
The tampon gate, wasn't
Diana was a hugely intelligent woman. She was a genius at PR. A genius. I'm not saying she wasn't a nice person. I think she was a nice person as well. We all have our failings and off days. On the whole, Diana was nicer than most. But she was clever. She wasn't a wilting violet, all doe-eyed and wanting to kill herself all the time. She wasn't like that.
She did say that she thought someone was going to tamper with her breaks.
Oh, she did. She did. I could see.
They sort of did a bit of it, but I didn't really understand what.
Oh, and again, that's my opinion. As soon as I saw that Panorama interview, the first thing I said to my mother the next day was, they're going to kill her, and she knows it, and that's why she did the interview. That was my instinct straight away. And my mother said, don't be ridiculous. That's a stupid thing to say. And I was wrong. She was not dead within a year. She was dead within 18 months. And that's all I will say on that. I have studied the subject extensively.
What's that great big book that you got? The guy had all the evidence, the one who's dead.
They actually used his book in one of the inquests as a reference. It's full of all the autopsies and the evidence. Can't remember his name. He's dead now. Can't remember his name. But anyway, so I mean, I've studied and studied and studied extensively for 25 years, the whole scenario.
And she's well into The Crown, you know.
I don't just blatantly accept what people say.
I mean, everyone has said, oh, it's fiction, it's fiction.
To a certain extent.
It's not fiction, right? It's a dramatised version of what actually happened.
Well, usually it
So you've
is.
got to put a bit of
Usually it
artistic
is.
license in there, but you can't just... Because if it's complete fiction, we can all jump in the TARDIS with Doctor Who, can't we? And Prince Charles can fight Daleks.
Yes, of
You know,
course.
so it's got to be following the truth.
I think my friend...
What actually happened, because a lot of us remember what actually happened.
I think my friend Imogen, who comments, put it best, that there's so much of fact in it, a lot of fact, like this is the Queen, this is Prince Philip, that's Buckingham Palace, that then when they add the bits in that are not correct, or as they're now calling poetic licence, despite not having a disclaimer, apparently I didn't notice that, but then those are the bits, because there's so much that is fact. But I'm not one of those that was down on it. Can I just make that point? Because I've been criticised tonight for being, oh, I'm a thick, middle-aged, white racist who had it in for the Crown. I'm not really a Crown fan. I just watched it for the clicks to do a quick review. I skipped through it. I'm a moron.
It took us all day to skip through it, didn't it?
And yet I'm an avid Crown fan, a Peter Morgan fan, and I didn't like it because, all right, yeah, I paid for Netflix for 2 years because Faith does watch shows, but that's not only it. Graham said to me, cancel it and renew it just before the Crown, but I wanted to be in it with Netflix as a community, to support them, to help pay towards something like the Crown, not to give 100 million to a couple of morons like Harry and Meghan, and certainly not after 2 years of supporting Netflix, paying for it, waiting for it. I was so excited. Sandra Parrott can confirm this because I was chatting to her online. I went, I gotta go, it's midnight, I bet it'll be on. To be ripped off by what appears to me to be a low budget piece of crap, and they couldn't even be bothered to have decent lighting in it so you can watch it during daylight hours. I have tried at night and I can see it a little better. I don't like that, and I'm not in it with Netflix anymore. I'm not supporting them as a team member. I'm out. They have ripped me off and they fucked up. I don't want anything to do with them after that.
Well, like I said on my channel last night, I said it's just mediocre. It's just another TV show.
It's not even mediocre. I was watching Poirot.
Which is a shame because it was really, really good. The Crown used to be really, really good. When Claire Foy was in it. And,
I like the jewels, I like the dresses, I like the glamour. These are people who live in a different set to us. I don't want to see them in all smelly wellies and dirty jeans. I don't want to see that. On certain occasions, yes. I will say one nice thing for the season, apart from the horse carriage slow motion, that was nice. Imelda Staunton, they did her up in a replica of the Queen's Brazilian aquamarine set, the tiara, the necklace, and I really loved that, and I thought, oh, here we go, and that was it. That was about 10 seconds out of 10 hours. I want to see bling, I want to see all the diamonds, I want to see ball gowns, I want to see glamour. It's a fat thing about the royal family. I don't want to see...
Queen with a really old rental telly.
Yeah, in an old card.
Thumping it, trying to get a picture.
I get that the Queen was like that, but she was an appropriate lady. That's how she would be on, when she's at home. But then when she's visiting someone, she'd be equally appropriate. And Diana wore loads of jewels. That was another thing, the necklace.
Why not?
The
She's a
necklace,
princess.
the Serpentine Gallery, the revenge dress, right? They went to all that trouble. Yes, she looked just like her. But the famous stranded pearl with the big sapphire at the front, all they showed that I could see was, clip at the back. And then the front from a distance. Netflix. Big part of the royal family. Jewels, dressing up, bling, bling, and lighting. Really important, lighting.
Yeah, normally people
And a
have
storyline would be nice.
Yeah. You need a writer and a lighting crew to put lights on to illuminate the set so people can see it.
Well, they did on all the other seasons. They did.
See it properly.
So I'm critiquing it as a work of art, not so much as a political or from a monarchical point of view. I'm critiquing it as I just.
And what
thought it
did
was
John
rubbish.
Major say about it?
Well, the actor, the guy actor.
Oh no, the real John Major.
Oh, he got really upset about it.
He said none of those conversations took place whatsoever.
There were no conversations in it. The character who played him just sat there like this. But you can't expect people to support a community. For example, I support Dogecoin. Don't know if you guys know, it's a crypto. It's a joke crypto. They call it the Toon crypto. I've got 100 Dogecoins. I'm in it just to support the community for a thing. I was paying for Netflix partly to support Netflix, thinking, yeah, okay, you dickheads, you're giving Harry and Meghan loads of money, and I don't approve of that, but come on, the Crown. And they reward me with that.
But
What's the hell?
To be fair to Netflix, right? They can do. I said years ago they'll do a hatchet job on them. Now, if they do a nicey Harry and Meghan video, aren't they marvellous? Aren't they wonderful? Aren't they? No one's going to watch it.
I won't be
but
watching it.
if they do a proper hatchet job and say, look what a pair of idiots these two are. Look how horrible they are. And it'll be a bestseller.
Oh, you mean
Netflix will make a
hot mic
shitload of money if they've been hot mic'd.
They might have
and
hot
filmed.
mic'd them.
I mean, you don't. For 130 million, you'd want serious dirt on those two, wouldn't you? And proper explode.
I won't be watching it because I will not have Netflix.
If they did a hatchet job on Harry and Meghan, I'd revel. I'd watch every episode over and over again.
No, I'll watch the clips on other YouTubers that critique it. I'm done with Netflix. I'm done with Netflix. I want a refund for the last 2 years. I feel really ripped off and fed up. They couldn't even be bothered to get the engagement ring right.
It's in Brighton.
Don't even get me on that subject, please.
On that note,
no.
Good night, and may your God go with you.